What's going on, guys? It's your boy, your man, the one and only Crunchy Dan, back here again to talk to you guys about Battlefield 2042 and its open beta experience that I personally had and some of the things that I found. And I want to, touch on some things and ask you guys some questions and things like that. Full disclaimer, I want to say that this has been my first full PC Battlefield experience. All my previous Battlefield career, we'll say, has been on console. I started with Bad Company 2 on Xbox 360, went to BF3, BF4 is still on the 360, and then eventually moved over to BF4, BF1, and BFV on the Xbox One. From there, we switched over to building a PC and getting into PC gaming, and mostly for streams and overlays and things like that. Anyways, so full disclaimer, I just want to say that yes, this is my first PC Battlefield, and so take the gameplay with a grain of salt, and things like that. Like I say, another thing I wanted to talk about was ask you guys some questions and see what you guys thought. What bugs did you see? What do you think can be improved or changed on? Things like that. Before we get into it too far and talk about some of the things that I saw and experienced and think could change and concerns and things like that. I also want to say, I know a lot of people are going to jump in the comments. Well, that this is a beta build that's 4 to 6 months old, and it's just super buggy because it's a beta build from 6 months ago. Yeah, okay, we get that. So, all right, we get it. We're, as I record this, about a month out from full release. So I would like to think that with the open beta data that they got, garage, tomato, that, they can polish up and work on some of these things, or have been working on some of these things in these last 4 to 6 months, and even 5 to 7 months leading up to its full release. So let's just get that out of the way. Yes, we all know it is a 4 to 6 month old beta build. We get it. Done. Okay. So with that, like I say, I wanted to speak to some of the bugs and just a general experience that I had. One of the biggest things that sticks out in my head right away is the parachute shadow, or the parachute shadow bug, or whatever you want to call it. I'm not sure if it happened to me at all, but I did see other players while I was playing, other players that were streaming the game have seen it and had it happen to them. If you didn't experience or don't know what I'm talking about, really all it was was people parachuting from the big building or out of choppers, or just getting their boots back down on the ground, and instead of their parachute collapsing, it would stick to them, and it was just this big awning above them, just a big beacon. Hey, here I am, So there's things like that. Lots of times for me too, on the initial load-in of the game, it wouldn't let me pick my specialist or my loadout, and again, now this beta, and I believe for the full release, they're recommending a 1050 Ti minimum to run this game. My PC is a few years old now. I'm running a 6 gigabyte, 1060 gig GeForce, NVIDIA, whatever the heck they call them these days. Graphics cards is a 6 gig 1060, however you cut it. So, it was struggling a little bit there. It played well. It really did. It was just some of those initial load-in things that I noticed were a bit of an issue, where, like I say, I couldn't pick my specialist or my loadout, right? Talk to right at the beginning was things like, how COD and Call of Duty it looked to me, having specialists and everybody's kind of, I think I heard it somewhere where somebody said, like, everybody kind of acts as the jack of all trades and master of none. And I mean, for me, playing since Bad Company 2 back in the day, I mean, we had combat roles, right? If you wanted to heal yourself and your squad, you were the medic, you were assault. If you wanted to be anti vehicle, you were engineer. If you're tired of running out of ammo or you want big monster drum mags, you're rolling support. If you're a guy that just likes to sit back, pick off dudes running into objectives and, make those long bomb running full tilt sprint shots from 300 yards away, or you just want to get into a cross map sniper battle, that was your recon guy, right? They were very specific roles for very specific needs of the battlefield. The way that it is now with these specialists and things, it's just like I said, like I've heard somebody else say, it feels like everybody is just a jack of all trades and the master of none. How that works for current Battlefield, I personally am not a fan because, like I say, I've been playing. I would consider myself a long time Battlefield veteran. Now I air quote that, but because I've been playing since Bad Company 2. I feel like I've got enough of a foundation and enough of a footprint to stand on here to be able to say that. And I mean, maybe that's an egotistical thing or narcissism or whatever. Still, I don't like the idea that they removed very specific combat roles, right? And becoming the jack of all trades and the master of none. Again, like if anybody else has played Battlefield since, Bad Company 2, BF3, even as far back as BF4 is becoming an older title now, you guys would know that Battlefield is such a squad and I'm going to say team-driven game based around objective play. It has always, at least in BF1 and BFV, if I remember correctly, and I could have this wrong too, don't quote me, but it seems to me that there was always a reward. There was always a big incentive to play as a squad. Squad assist, squad heals, squad revives. There's a bigger point pool to collect when you were playing as a squad or playing the objective, things like that. So to see, like I say, all these kind of, to lose these specific combat roles, I think is something that I'm not a big fan of. How it plays out in the full release and where it comes from and like how it ends up come the full release, in November or whenever it does release. It might be completely different. Like I said right away, this is a 4 to 6 month old beta build, and things I'm sure are polished up, and I'm sure there's going to be more specialists and things like that, and we'll get it figured out as it comes in. But right now, just speaking to the open beta experience that I personally had, and being a longtime Battlefielder, I'm not a big fan of the jack of all trades and master of none. Again, and then back to kind of what I was trying to blend in there before was combat roles and squad play is like, like if everybody can stim themselves or heal themselves or get ammo from, okay, here's another point, everybody seemed to kind of be running the scavenger perk from the old Call of Duty days. If you needed health or ammo, you just run over a near dead body, right? And you would catch a little ammo pack at the very least. Things like that. So some of that very driven squad play and team play and things that, guys like me as a quote-unquote long-time Battlefielder know the game to be, and it's not playing out like that. I think it kind of took away from my experience a little bit. Come Saturday, come the second day of the beta, I was running around as Grandma Frack or whatever her handle was, so that I could be the healer, the so-called healer, the medic, the combat medic. I could now give myself heals, which is not unheard of from previous titles, but now I could see and act as the combat medic as I know it to be from previous titles. Yeah, I mean, sure, my HUD and my heads-up display and my user interface got a little bit clouded up, but I made it my specific goal to become the medic in any game that I played, because any game that I played previous on the Friday, or the first day, I couldn't get a pickup. I couldn't. Nobody would revive me. I couldn't get any heals. I mean, never mind ammo. I mean, like, it's Satan forbid that that you live long enough to need some ammo. Very rarely saw anybody throw out an ammo pack. Things like that. So I feel like some of these combat roles and things that we've been so used to having from previous Battlefield titles is starting to get a little bit lost with trying to modernize and now go into 20 years into the future. And like I say, jack of all trades, master of none, and that sort of thing. So I went into it hesitant. But then as soon as I started playing, I mean, my fanboy, my fanboy was showing, right? Like, it's like the game couldn't do anything wrong when I was playing it, because I've been playing it for so long, and I finally got a chance to get my hands on, some game time. So, still, in the end, it still kind of feels a little bit Call of Duty-esque to me. I don't know if it's just because everybody's running around with like a chicken with their head cut off. There's no team play. I don't know if it's because the old Battlefield vets are just, trying to bing bong helicopters and grapple hook helicopters from ground to air, or if it's just a whole new generation, a whole new raft, a whole new flock of just new Battlefielders I don't understand. And I say that, take that with a grain of salt. I want to say, like, you take that with a grain of salt, the old Battlefielders versus the new Battlefielders, and, how the new guys don't, I would say, not, quote unquote, not understand how, again, quote unquote, how Battlefield's supposed to be played. And, I mean, like I say, take it with a grain of salt. It's just, for me being such a long time, old school, quote unquote, veteran Battlefielder, it feels odd to me to make such a shift and kind of go away from the squad and team play aspect, that we've been kind of conditioned into from previous titles. And so we'll see how the full release goes. Things like that, though, I think was my biggest, I'm going to say, gripe or concern with the game so far. It's just this jack of all trades, master of none thing, with a removal of specific combat roles from previous titles, like we so know and are accustomed to. Back to bugs, like I say, the parachute bug. I had a lot of doors not opening, or be half open, things like that. There was again, it wouldn't let me pick my specific specialist or loadout. There was some hilarious ragdolls. I'm sure a lot of you guys seen. Like I say, loading in as random specialist, parachute bugs, things like that. Another thing I guess I want to talk about too is the lack of spotting. There's absolutely no spotting like it used to be. Back in my console days, I was constantly hammering on that RB button all the time. And I mean the same thing here. Now I'm just like forever hitting Q to try and spot an enemy that I'm looking at. Instead, my specialist just goes, "Hey, let's move to that location." And it's the spotting doesn't work. I understand they tried to nerf it in previous titles and things like that. I miss it. I've collected so many points and ribbons and commendations and accolades and things of that nature from spotting that I don't like the current nerf of the so-called spotting so-called nerf of spotting. So things like that. Overall, really, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I'm looking forward to its full release, and I would like to really, really, really hear back from some of you guys if you watch this video all the way through. And if you are still here, thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out and, just listen to me ramble on with my thoughts and shenaniganery that speaking to this open beta. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. And I mean, there's going to be a lot of only in Battlefield moments, and I mean, now we got the Hazard Zone cinematic trailer. I'm really, really looking forward to Portal and how that's gonna work out. Give me our old BF4 maps with modern 2042 weaponry, or the mix of, or whatever goes on there. I'm really looking forward to it, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. Let me know, like I say, down in the comments, if you guys are old Battlefielders, new Battlefielders, or you're just going to check it out. Did you play the beta? Or you wait until launch? And, let's get a conversation going. I want to hear from anybody and everybody around the Battlefield community. So, but with that, I mean, I'm rambling on almost 20 minutes now, and I think I should probably wrap it up and try and get this edited down. Really quick, I want to say too, again, if you're just skipping through the video, this was my first PC Battlefield, and yes, this was a 4 to 6 month old build from what I've heard, not uncommon. So, I mean, take it all with a grain of salt. But if you played or are looking forward to playing it on release, have you pre-ordered? I got all the questions. Let me know down in the comments, and hopefully this can turn out kind of all right somehow. Thank you guys so much for watching, coming in, hanging out, doing the things that you guys do. And if you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't, dislike, all that YouTuber jargon that they say. But like I say, I should quit rambling. Let me go and let you guys think in the comments, and stay safe, stay sane, and stay out of trouble out there. All right? Thank you guys.